What do you feel like you get from this message today, which we talk about finding inspiration? Comment what comes up for you when it comes to finding inspiration from isolation. Have you ever been isolated? Has there ever been a time in your life where you've truly been alone? No one around you, no one with you. You called out, no one was there. You might have been, hoping, praying, wishing for circumstances to change, but it was just you and you. Like they say, me, myself, and I. And was it fearful for you? Was it frightening for you? Was it terrifying for you, or was it terrific for you? And this is what we're going to get in today, how one can find inspiration from isolation. We talk about how Stephen Aitchison, being alone has a power that they say very few people can handle. I feel like I was able to have some sort of an advantage when it came to being alone and it came to being isolated, because I was an only child and I came up, my mom being a doctor, being on call, and obstetrician gynecologist, always going and delivering so many babies. So I would just be left to my own devices, like, hey, go play, go do what you want. And through that isolation, I got used to being alone without being lonely. And I feel like that followed me into later years, where I would find myself climbing trees at different jobs. I would be in the office and I'd be meditating in the middle of the floor and people would just walk by me like a statue, I'd be up in trees and people would never look up. I'd feel like Mowgli from the Jungle Book, just be all the way up there. If I slipped and fell, shoot, I might not be here today, that high. But it was because I had a love for being alone, being in nature, and also just a love for being on my own adventure, discovering what that meant for me. And what has that meant for you in times when no one else is around you, when no one else is watching? What do you do? What do you do when you have no onlookers? How do you treat yourself? Do you take yourself out on dates? I would go to the movies by myself. I would go roller skating by myself. I'd take myself to the library. I'd take myself out to eat. I'd take myself everywhere, right? But I know that there are some that have this fear of being alone, that need to be close with someone, that need to be in a relationship, that need to be in engagement with somebody. And I find this very interesting. So, speak on how you feel when it comes to isolation. And is it fearful for you to be isolated, or do you draw inspiration from that isolation? We hear about Nikola Tesla talking about being alone being the secret of invention. Being alone where ideas are born. The ideas that are disembodied entities, the ideas that choose you, that flow through you. That inspiration, right? To be in spirit, to be in alignment, to be that conduit, that channel to allow these things to flow through. Do they ever flow through when we are in dialogue? Do they ever flow through when we are talking and speaking all the time? Or do they flow through when we are silent? Right? When we are quiet. When we are not worried about the noise. When we speak, we imprint our energies. But when we are silent, energies imprint on us. The universe speaks to us, speaks through us. What do you hear when you are silent? What do you hear when you're alone? What do you hear when there's no one else around you? That is the question. To be or not to be. I love this quote by Blaise Pascal. It says that all of humanity's problems, all of them, stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room alone. How does this speak to you? Do you feel like this is true for you? Let us know. Have you been able to Be in a room alone, truly alone with yourself, with nothing else. No one, nobody, just you and you. And what feelings does that strike within you? And to be able to have that bold of a statement to say that all of our problems stem from this one thing, I think there's something to it. That there's so much more to explore. Instead of going all the time in the external, redirecting that energy to your internal world, which is vast. Not just on the internet, but the internet. And when you connect back with the internet, you reconnect with the Ethernet. And the Ethernet flows through you. So my friend, what problems could we alleviate? What problems could we eliminate entirely if we only had the courage to be alone without being lonely? Sometimes they say we need to be alone, and not to be lonely, but to enjoy your free time being with yourself. Give it a try. Take yourself on a date one time, just one time. If you've never done it, it might seem awkward at first. It might be like, okay, it's a hair past skin 30. What should I do, right? You might find yourself busying yourself, escaping into your phone, looking for distractions, right? The opposite of traction. Looking for something to take you away from yourself. Looking for something to dive into, to escape from. But at times, we long for an escape from our escape. That's where I came in my journey. Even when I was alone, I realized that I was still investing times into certain avenues like video games and TV shows and sitcoms and movies and all sorts of stuff that would distract me from myself. And I wasn't truly embracing who I was and truly really getting to know myself. Everywhere you go, there you are. How well can we say we know ourselves? How well do you know yourself? Have you ever asked? Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I want to get to know you a little better. How about we start fresh? Let's get to know each other. Be your own friend again. They say that if you are lonely when you are alone, you might be in bad company. You don't need a mentor outside of you. You don't need so many teachers outside of you. You can be your own mentor. You can be your own teacher. You can be your own guru. You can learn so many life lessons from listening and enjoying your own company. So make sure that it's good company that you're in. Make sure that, that you can love yourself the way that you desire to be loved. And finally, understanding that sometimes the reason old souls enjoy time alone is because they never really are. You could say that we're all old souls out here. We've all been here before. We're in this new form, right? This energy that has transcended, that has gone beyond, that has transitioned into whatever form that you're in today while you're watching this. And has anybody ever said, oh, you're an old soul? But we enjoy time alone because we never really are alone, are we? Even when you feel like you're alone, are you really alone? That is the question. So, my friend, thank you so much for listening. This has just been a short dialogue to get the gears turning about finding that inspiration. Perhaps new creativity will come to you. New ideas may come to you. New inspiration may flow through you. New endeavors may be guided your way when you are able to be alone without being lonely. I trust that you'll find what you're looking for without having to go seek, without having to go look. You'll find it was right there with you the whole time. So much love, my friend. Much love. Thank you for being awesome. Much appreciation. Hey, Jennifer says, I receive all of this. Shout out to you, Jennifer. Hey, Jason Ahava, thank you for joining. Wonderful. Yes, peace. Much appreciation, Jason says, for self-time, it creates an abyss to create and being in nature. Yes, awesome, much love. George says, you find yourself. Yeah. They say, when you find yourself, don't lose yourself again. When you find yourself, hold on to who you are. Self-love and reflection. Yes, Jason. I thought isolation was terrible until I came to the realization isolation isn't real because the divine has got me and you. Yes, that's what we're saying. Are we truly isolated? What is true isolation? And are we ever really alone? Jay says, definitely we draw inspiration. All things come through in solitude. Yeah, when I found solace in my solitude, when I was able to be in silence, it became a treasure. It became something that I wanted to be in more of. I was like, wow, this is fascinating. Why didn't I know this was so interesting? I didn't know that there was so much about myself, so much more left to explore. Much love. Hey, grand rising to you. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Tiffany, grand rising, Tiffany. George says, to shut down the noise, you find yourself in isolation. Jay says, this is amazing. How can you share these? Oh, yeah, it's just, you just press the button. Just like we always used to do, Jay, in ULA, Unlimited Life Academy. We press that button, Jay. Nazare, hey. Nazare says, alone equals all one. Ooh, I like that. Awesome. Let me screenshot that. Awesome, Nazare. Thank you. Alone equals all one. I never alone. My guides and ancestry are always with me. Wow. Yes, this is what we're saying, Nazare. Wonderful. Yeah. The laugh is still here, Jay. The internet. Yeah. Yeah, two different things, George says. Isolation and loneliness. Definitely agree. We long for an escape from our escape. Yeah, that's definitely that's what I used to long for. I used to crave for. Jay said, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for receiving it. Yeah, we will definitely catch up soon. And much love to you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ooh. Advita. George says, sometimes isolate yourself because only when the surrounding is empty, you search within. Oof, yeah. Hey, Haruka, and thank you for being here. So I trust that you have received a nugget. Comment down below if you're watching this on the replay, #replay, if you got something to take with you. And thank you so much for the likes and shares, tagging someone in this that you feel needs to hear this and that would gain value from this message. Ding the bell if you'd like to get notified whenever we do these live sessions. And always hit the Open Palm Podcast. That is the Open Palm Podcast. The link is in the bio for you. It's on all platforms, playing for your listening pleasure and your daily inspiration, my friend. Much love. And can't wait to see you on the next live session. Go out into your day. Be great. Impact someone's life today for the better. And never afraid to be by yourself, because you're never truly alone. Much love. Take care. We'll catch you again very soon.